Another Brick fan here with a look at the Marvel Superheroes Summer sets. Some of these have been released in the UK and some are available in the US. Many of these were scheduled to be available in the US on the 21st of June, but since then the website's been updated and they're still just saying coming soon. So still some delays on getting these out, but I thought I'd give some of my thoughts on these sets. Let's start with set number 40418. This is Falcon and Black Widow Team Up. It's a small minifigure pack that includes 60 pieces and 4 minifigures, cost about $15. The minifigures include Black Widow, Falcon, and 2 AIM agents. Looks like the 2 AIM agents are exactly the same. This is a new design for Falcon in this red uniform. The wings, it's not as complex as some of the others I've seen, but it still looks pretty good. Black Widow looks good with this red hair piece, and then the printing on her torso looks very nice, and then printings along the arms. I like this little tiny build here of the 6 stud shooter, but in this case it looks like it's shooting the cylinder pieces, which is kind of cool. So a nice little playset. Next up is 76151. This is the Venomous Soros Ambush. This set has 640 pieces, 3 minifigures, and will cost about $80. The minifigures include Spider-Man, Iron Spider, and Spider-Ham, which is a great piece to get. It does come with an awful lot of accessories, so you see a lot of the webbing pieces there in black, which look pretty cool. There's a build there for the Venom egg, and I guess there's a skeleton there, which could also count as a additional minifigure with that. I like the dinosaur build. I think it looks pretty good, especially in that nice Venom coloring. I'm curious to see if those are stickers. More than likely those are all stickers, but it could be some printed pieces there with the Venomosaurus. The little spider buggy or dune buggy looking thing there is really cool. It looks a lot like Jack's Beach Buggy, which has the Technic pieces there that extend the wheels up and give the vehicle a lot of height, but also are connected via rubber bands, which give it kind of that independent suspension on all the wheels, which is pretty cool. It does have one of those large spring shooters that I remember from some of the Star Wars sets, like the Attack on Hoth play set that was released earlier. Overall, a good looking set. It might be a little on the high side for me. I think $80 is pretty high for a 600 piece set. Perhaps it's part of the branding, or maybe it's because it has some bigger pieces with the Venomosaurus. We'll have to take a closer look when it's released. Next up is a Lego 4 Plus set, which is the replacement for Juniors, which they seem to be doing for at least 1 or 2 of these for all of their different themes. The set includes 223 pieces, 4 minifigures, and a big fig. So the minifigures include Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, Captain Marvel, and Loki. It looks pretty good overall. I do like, some of the printing, like that screen there that has Loki on the computer screen there. It is a small little vignette, kind of reminiscent of the Avengers Tower. Looks like it has like a prison cell there. It looks like on top there's a representation of the machinery that helps Iron Man get in and out of his armor. So some nice features, but as a little junior set, doesn't really appeal to me, although those disc shooters on that little scooter, it looks like for Loki, are kind of nicely integrated. It has some charm, but juniors is not really a line, or the 4 Plus is not really a line I collect very often. Moving on to 76153, this is the Avengers Helicarrier. The set contains 1,244 pieces, 7 minifigures, and a brick-built fig, and will cost about $120. The minifigures include Iron Man, Captain Marvel, Thor, Black Widow, War Machine, Nick Fury, an AIM agent, and a brick-built MODOK figure. Overall, I think the Helicarrier looks really good at this size. I missed out on the UCS type version of the Helicarrier that was released, I believe, in 2016. Really nice set. This looks to be built in more of a nanoscale, kind of like that other Helicarrier was. It doesn't look like there's a lot of space inside for minifigures. The small Quinjet there looks like it will carry minifigures. A couple of the nice things, though, that brick-built MODOK does look really good. It looks like the AIM agent has some kind of flying backpack piece there, and as well as a stud shooter that looks like it's shooting grenades, maybe of some different styles, which kind of look pretty interesting. I think the new helmet piece for Captain Marvel looks really good and is a nice inclusion with this set. This is one that I'm definitely looking at getting. Next up is 76164. This is Iron Man Hulkbuster versus AIM Agent. This set has 456 pieces, 4 minifigures, and costs about $40. The minifigures include Iron Man, Rescue, which is a new one that I haven't seen before, and 2 AIM agents. As you can see, one of them has a flying apparatus, which is different than the one we saw with the Helicarrier. Looks like some stickers there with their AIM logos on it. Interesting that a criminal organization would be advertising itself, but maybe it's a legitimate company. I don't have a lot of background on the AIM storyline. This is the 3rd generation of the Hulkbuster armor. Of course, there's one that's sort of a UCS version, which is very detailed and looks really good. And then there was one that was released with the Infinity War sets that included Bruce Banner as the pilot of that one. This one is slightly different. It looks like the arms are much bigger. It looks like they both have some articulation in them. There's some round 2x2s in the back there, which look like they rotate the arms independently, so there might be some Technic gearing in there. Hard to tell. The cockpit looks different than some of the previous models, and it looks like it does have some spring-loaded shooters there on the shoulder. The Rescue figure is in kind of a red and silver, so maybe more towards the comics as opposed to the version of Rescue we saw in Infinity War, which I think would have been really nice to get. But regardless, I think this looks like a decent set. The thing that I don't particularly like about it is the helmet, the very top piece. It's done on kind of a flat circular piece instead of a more rounded helmet-like piece. So the face looks really flat and kind of distorted to me. So I'm a little disappointed in that. And overall, I'm not a huge fan of mechs, so I'm not sure if I'll get this set or not, but it does have some interesting features in it, and it'd be interesting to take a closer look at it when it is released. Next up, we have set 76165. This is the Iron Man helmet. This set has 480 pieces, no minifigures, and will cost about $60. And it is similar to, or right in the same line as the Star Wars helmets that came out. So that's a total of 4 of these helmets now that they have. I think the look of the helmet is really good. I like the way that they sculpt it. I think the curvature is done very nicely. The studs don't bother me too much. And of course, the use of a lot of this pearl gold coloring around the front look really nice. It looks like there's some printed pieces back there for the eyes, which I think look good. And then you have, of course, a nameplate there on the front and a stand. Looks to be a really nice display piece and one that kind of aimed at the more AFOL or the adult Lego collector. Last up, we have the Avengers Tower Battle. This is set 76166, has 456 pieces, 7 minifigures, and it's going to cost about $90. The set includes 3 different Iron Man minifigs, which I think is great to get more versions of Iron Man. If you have the Iron Man Hall of Armor, that could be additional figures you can add to that. It was a good set from the Infinity War series. Black Widow makes another appearance here. So she has at least 3 sets in Avengers from 2020. A couple of AIM agents as well as the Red Skull is included as well. Looks like he's got another one of those stud shooters with the grenades or something. So that's a newer piece that I haven't seen before. The tower I think looks really good, although it only has 450 pieces, so it might not be as big as it looks. I have a feeling this is a very small Avengers Tower model. It's hard to tell. I mean, I guess it's fairly substantial in size, maybe 10 or 12 studs wide by maybe another 8 to 10 studs. So it's kind of interesting at its widest point there on the bottom. It's a definite buy for me. I do like the brick-built Avengers logo there on the side. I think that looks pretty cool. And it does certainly represent the Avengers Tower look quite well. And it has 5 different floors, so there's probably really cool details inside of each of those rooms, although not a lot of pictures are available yet. Hope you've enjoyed my thoughts on these Avengers summer sets. I will be getting probably 3 or 4 of these. and I'll review them as soon as I get them. And until then, happy building! If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and be sure to subscribe to my channel to see more content. I've left a link for more of my Marvel superheroes reviews up here on the screen.